Sunday dinner at Dad's house always followed the same script. Drive 40 minutes, sit at a table where nobody asks how you're doing. Watch Kevin get praised for showing up on time. Drive home wondering why you bothered. But hey, free mashed potatoes. I'd been running this play for 32 years. The reliable son. The one who never complained. The one who'd been paying everyone's bills so long they'd forgotten the money came from somewhere. This Sunday started like all the others. Kevin telling some story about his sales numbers. Dad nodding like it was fascinating. Mom refilling glasses. Heather scrolling her phone. I reached for my Coke. Kevin's elbow came out of nowhere. The glass tipped. Soda poured across the table, off the edge, directly into my lap. Ice cold. Soaking through my khakis. Pooling in the chair. Kevin laughed. That laugh I'd been hearing since I was 4 years old. Oops, he grinned. Better lick it clean, little brother. I sat there, wet, sticky, waiting. Dad smirked into his mashed potatoes. Mom suddenly found her napkin very interesting. Heather giggled. Actually giggled. A 34-year-old woman, giggling at her brother being humiliated. Nobody handed me a napkin. Nobody said, Kevin, that's not funny. Nobody did anything. I looked around. 4 faces. 4 people who shared my blood. Not one of them moved to help. This wasn't new. That was the thing. This was Tuesday. This was normal. When I was 8, Kevin pushed me into the pool at a barbecue, fully clothed, in front of 50 people. Everyone laughed. Dad said I needed to lighten up. When I was 12, Kevin told everyone at Thanksgiving that I still wet the bed. I hadn't since I was 6. Didn't matter. That nickname followed me through high school. When I was 17, Kevin told my prom date I had a contagious skin condition. She left before appetizers. I spent prom night alone in my room. Kevin called it character building. When I was 24, Kevin accidentally locked me out of our hotel room during a family vacation. In Vegas. At 2 a.m., I slept in the lobby. Every single time, Kevin did something. Everyone laughed. I forgave. I came back. Because family. But sitting there with soda soaking through my underwear while my 40-year-old brother told me to lick it clean like a dog? Something shifted. Not rage, something quieter. Colder. Recognition. I'd been so focused on being the good son that I'd missed the obvious. They didn't see me as a son at all. They saw me as a wallet with legs who also took abuse well. I stood up. Excuse me, walked to the door, grabbed my jacket. Oh, come on, Kevin, behind me. It was a joke. I didn't turn around. Marcus, Dad's voice. Not concerned, annoyed. Get back here, you're overreacting. I got in my car, started the engine, and drove away from 32 years of being the family joke. The drive home took 40 minutes. I didn't turn on the radio, didn't call anyone, just drove in silence with wet pants and something crystallizing in my chest. Here's what nobody outside my family knew. I made $94,000 a year as a senior software developer. Solid career. Good benefits. The kind of job they'd ignored at every family dinner for 8 years. And for the past 5 years, $38,400 of that salary, 40% of my gross income, went directly to my family. It started when Dad got early retired. Fired, actually, but we didn't say that word. He was 3 months from losing the house when he called me. Just temporary, he'd said, until I get back on my feet. I started paying his mortgage, $800 a month, every month, for 5 years. That's $108,000, just for Dad's house. He never got back on his feet, never really tried. Why would he? The payments kept coming. Then Kevin's credit imploded. Failed business venture, a boat rental company that lasted 4 months. His car got repossessed. You're doing so well, Mom had said. Can't you help your brother get to work? I co-signed his lease, $420 a month. Added it to my autopay because Kevin kept forgetting to send his half. He never sent it, not once. $2,200 over 5 years. Then Heather needed a credit card. Just for emergencies, she'd promised. She'd pay it off every month. She maxed it in 6 weeks, $5,000. Then kept charging. Minimum payments only. Interest piling up. My credit taking hits. When I asked about it, she said I was being obsessive about money. Mom's health insurance had gaps after Dad's firing. "You're the only one with a stable job," Dad had said. Like that made it my responsibility. $340 a month. $2,400 over 5 years. Then the phone plan. "It's cheaper if we bundle," Dad reasoned. All 6 lines on my account. Mom, Dad, Kevin, Kevin's girlfriend Brittany, Heather, and me. $280 a month. $1,680 over 5 years. Streaming services. You already have them. What's a few more profiles? $89 a month. $5,340 over 5 years. I pulled into my apartment complex. Sat in the parking lot and did the math. 1-800 wow, 420 tonder wars, 340 yos, 280 yos, 89, wow, 2,929 per month. Plus the credit card payments. Plus the emergencies. Kevin's parking tickets, Heather's speeding fines, Dad's property taxes. Closer to $3,200 a month. Sometimes more. For 5 years. $192,000. I'd given my family nearly $200,000. I'd skipped vacations, drove a 10-year-old Honda, lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, wore clothes until they fell apart. Because family needed help. And in return for $192,000, I got told to lick soda off the floor. I sat there for 10 minutes, then went inside. Made coffee. Sat at my laptop. Opened a spreadsheet. I'm a developer. I solve problems systematically. This was just another problem. Column A, payment. Type column. B, monthly amount. Column. C, account details. Column. D, cancellation method. Column. E, effective date. I filled in every line. Dad's mortgage, 1-800 month. Cancel authorization, immediate Kevin's car lease, 420 month. Notify dealership, withdraw, immediate Heather's credit card, 5,000 plus balance, freeze card, dispute charges. Tomorrow mom's insurance, 340 month. Cancel, immediate phone plan, 6 lines, 280 month. Port my number, cancel remaining. Tonight streaming, 89 month. Cancel all, change passwords. Tonight 6 line items. 6 ways I'd been holding up a family that saw me as a joke. There's a moment before you do something irreversible. A pause where your old self tries to talk you out of it. Think about Mom. She'll be scared. Think about Dad. He could lose the house. You're better than this. Family is family. I thought about all of it. Then I thought about Kevin's face. That smirk. 32 years of that smirk. Better lick it clean. I started clicking. First, Dad's mortgage, his bank portal, auto pay settings, remove authorized account, confirm, done. Next month's payment wouldn't process. 30 days, late fees, 60 days, credit damage, 90 days, foreclosure. He had no savings. I knew. Second, Kevin's car, called the dealership. I'm notifying you I won't be making any more payments. The primary lessee can contact you about his options. Silence. We'll need to repossess the vehicle. Understood. Third, Heather's credit card. Called fraud department. I have text messages where the primary user agreed to keep balance under $1,000. Current balance is over $5,000. They froze the card pending investigation. Fourth, Mom's insurance, 2 clicks, canceled. Fifth, phone plan. Ported my number first, then canceled all 6 lines. Are you sure? 5 other users will lose service immediately. I'm sure. Sixth, streaming. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Amazon Prime. Canceled. Passwords changed. Each one felt like untying a knot I didn't know I'd been carrying. 11:47 p.m. Everything set to process overnight. One more thing. Family group chat. 4,147 messages over the years. I typed, 5 years, $192,000. You told me to lick it clean, so here's your finances. Back to you. Clean them up yourselves. Scheduled. Send, 9 a.m. Then I turned off my phone, took a shower, put on clean clothes, went to bed, and slept better than I had in years. I woke up at 6:15 a.m., not from an alarm, just woke up. Alert, clear, made coffee, sat by the window, watched the sun come up, tried to feel guilty, couldn't. I knew what was happening right now. 6:15 a.m. Dad's mortgage payment attempted, failed. Email notification sent. 7 more a.m. Phone plan terminated. 5 people waking up to no service. 7:30 a.m. Mom trying to make her morning calls. Nothing working. 8 a.m. Kevin heading to his car, not knowing the dealership was about to start calling. 8:30 a.m. Heather at Starbucks. Card declined. 9 a.m. My message delivered. I turned my phone back on at 9:15 a.m. 47 notifications. Missed calls, 12 from Mom, 8 from Dad, 6 from Heather, 4 from Kevin, 17 from numbers I didn't recognize. The unknown numbers, neighbors using their phones to dial for them. I opened the group chat. Dad, 9:01 a.m. What is this? Call me right now. Mom, 9:02 a.m. Marcus, my phone wasn't working. I had to use Mrs. Patterson's. What's going on? Kevin, 9:03 a.m. Bro, what did you do? Heather, 9:04 a.m. My card got declined in front of everyone. Dad, 9:07 a.m. I just got an alert from the bank. What did you do to my mortgage? Mom, 9:09 a.m. Marcus, call us. Kevin, 9:12 a.m. This is insane. Over a spilled drink? Dad, 9:15 a.m. I'm coming over there. I read the messages. Felt nothing. Not triumph. Not guilt. Not satisfaction. Just peace. Let him come. For the first time in 5 years, I had nothing left to give them. And nothing left to lose. 9:47 a.m. My door shook on its hinges. Not knocking. Hammering. The kind that makes neighbors open their doors. Marcus, open this door. Dad's truck in the lot. He'd made the 40-minute drive in 25. I stayed at my kitchen table, coffee in hand. I know you're in there. Your car's in the lot. Let him knock. For 32 years, I'd been the one who came when called, the one who showed up, the one who answered. Not anymore. This isn't funny, son. I walked to the door, didn't open it, spoke through the wood. I'm not doing anything to you. I'm just not doing anything for you anymore. Silence. Then his voice dropped. That tone he used when really angry. Open this door, now. No. Marcus. You laughed, Dad. Kevin poured soda on me like I was a dog, told me to lick it clean, and you laughed. More silence. It was a joke. So was my dignity, apparently. He stood there for 5 minutes. Then footsteps. Walking away. I watched through the peephole as he drove off. 1 down, 3 to go. By noon, my inbox was chaos. Bank notification. Suspicious activity on mortgage account. Dad had tried to pay himself. Checking account, 847. Mortgage, 1-800, insufficient funds. He'd actually tried. That surprised me. Then I saw the second notification, transfer attempt from savings. Savings balance, 0.00. That didn't surprise me. 5 years of telling myself he just needed help getting back on his feet. 0.00 in savings. While I sent $1-800 every month. He wasn't getting back on his feet. He'd never planned to. I closed the laptop, made lunch. Felt nothing. 2:15 p.m. Heather showed up. Softer knock. Voice through the door. Marcus, it's me. I opened it. Mascara smeared. Hair in a messy ponytail. Sweatpants and slippers like she'd rushed out without thinking. My card got frozen. I know. I was at Whole Foods. Machine kept saying declined. Everyone in line staring. Manager came over. She waited for sympathy. I had none. I reported the charges as unauthorized. What? That's my card. That's my credit. You agreed to keep it under 1,000. It's over 5,000. I had emergencies. You charged $800 at Sephora last month. That's not an emergency. She blinked. You looked at my statements? Every month. Watching the balance climb on my credit. I was going to pay it back. When? No answer. She started crying. real tears running through the smeared mascara. What am I supposed to do now? Get a budget, live within your means, like adults do. She stood there crying for another minute, then left. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't apologize. I closed the door, made dinner, went to the gym for the first time in 6 months. Needed to burn off adrenaline. Day 2. Kevin lost his phone. Not just Kevin, his girlfriend Brittany too. She'd been on my plan 2 years. LinkedIn message from her. Hey Marcus, I don't know what happened between you and Kevin, but my phone got shut off and I have job interviews this week. Can you at least give me warning before you destroy someone's life? This is really unprofessional. Unprofessional. 2 years of free phone service. Never asked for anything. Never got thanked. And now I was unprofessional. I didn't respond. Day 3. Dealership called. Mr. Mitchell, the vehicle leased to Kevin Mitchell. We've been unable to reach him. Payment is past due. I notified your office I wouldn't be making more payments. We're reaching out to determine if the primary lessee will make arrangements. He doesn't have the money. That's why I was paying. Pause. We'll proceed with repossession protocols. Understood. Kevin would wake up one morning soon to find his car gone. Same way I'd woken up thousands of mornings to find my bank account drained. Fair was fair. Day 4. Mrs. Patterson called. Dad's neighbor. Sweet woman in her 70s who'd known me since I was a kid. Marcus, honey. I hope you don't mind me tracking you down? It's fine. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I wanted to tell you something. She paused. About what your father's been saying. About me canceling everything? No, dear. About the money. I sat up straighter. He's been telling people at church that you asked to pay his mortgage, that it was your idea, that you insisted on helping and wouldn't take no for an answer. My stomach dropped. He said what? For years now, every time someone asks, he tells them his son insisted, makes himself sound humble. Oh, Marcus wouldn't let me say no. For years, he'd been telling people I insisted, like he was doing me a favor by accepting my money. Mrs. Patterson, he called me crying 5 years ago, said he was about to lose the house. I didn't insist. I just helped. I know, dear. That's why I wanted to tell you. Some of us see through it. Thank you. You're a good boy, Marcus. Too good for how they treat you. She hung up. $108,000 in mortgage payments. And he'd been telling everyone it was my idea. Rewriting history so he never had to feel like he owed me anything. Day 5. Credit card company called. Mr. Mitchell, we've completed our investigation into the disputed charges. And? Based on the text messages you provided, we're ruling in your favor for charges above $1,000. The primary account holder will be responsible. Thank you. You're removed as co-signer effective immediately. Small victory, but mine. Heather would be getting a letter. $4,000 plus in charges transferred to her name alone. Her credit taking the hit. Fair was fair. Day 6. Group chat shifted. I'd been watching, not responding. Mom. I talked to Mrs. Patterson today. Richard, did you tell people Marcus insisted on paying the mortgage? Long pause. No response from Dad. Kevin. Wait, what? Heather. Dad's been saying what? Mom. Richard, answer me. Dad. I may have phrased things a certain way, to save face. Kevin. You told people he insisted, like he was pushing money on you? Dad. It's complicated. Heather. It's not complicated. You lied. Mom. We need to talk. Tonight. First crack in the wall. Day 7. Dad refinanced. Bank notifications still coming to my email. He hadn't changed passwords. New mortgage, 11.4% interest. Original was 4.2%. 1,800 month became 2,400 month. Worst terms. Damaged credit. No leverage. That loan would follow him to his grave. I tried to feel guilty. Couldn't. He'd had 5 years to prepare. 5 years to save something. 5 years to figure out a backup plan. Instead, he'd spent 5 years telling church people I'd insisted. Let him pay $2,400 at 11.4%. Day 8. Work noticed. Not the drama, They didn't know. They noticed me. Marcus, you seem different this week, my manager said. More focused, more present. Your code reviews have been exceptional. I thought about it walking back to my desk. For 5 years, 30% of my mental bandwidth went to worrying about their bills. Whether Dad's payment went through, whether Kevin's car would get repossessed, whether Heather's spending would tank my credit. That weight was gone. Turns out I had capacity when I wasn't spending it on people who didn't appreciate it. Day 9. Kevin texted from a new number. Prepaid phone. 7-Eleven special. Can we talk? Not about money. Just talk. I almost deleted it. But something in the phrasing stopped me. Not, you need to fix this. Not, what the hell is wrong with you? Just, can we talk? About what? Things I did, the prom thing, all of it. I think you had a point. Kevin, admitting I had a point. I've been a terrible brother. Didn't see it until you took everything away. I didn't know what to say. I'm not ready to talk yet, but when I am, I'll let you know. Okay, I'll be here. He would be. No car, no phone plan. Wasn't going anywhere. Day 10. Tow truck came for Kevin's car. Found out later. He'd posted on Facebook, borrowed someone's computer. Lost the car today, my own fault. Been making excuses for years. Time to grow up, I guess. No blame, no finger pointing. Just my own fault. That surprised me more than anything. Day 12. Mom showed up. She looked older than I remembered. Tired in a way that went beyond sleep. Can I come in? She walked in. Looked around at my apartment. It's nice. I don't think I've been here since you moved in. You haven't. That's not good, is it? No. She sat down. I talked to your father about Mrs. Patterson. He admitted it. Said he was embarrassed to need help, so he told everyone you insisted. And I'm sorry. I knew you were helping, but I didn't know the numbers. Your father handled bills. I assumed you were just helping with a gap. $800 a month, Mom. 5 years. That's not a gap. That's the whole thing. She put her head in her hands. I'm not asking for money, she said. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For not seeing it. For not protecting you from Kevin. For all of it. Okay. That's it? What do you want me to say? That I forgive you? That we're fine? Something real. I thought about it. I'm angry. That I gave $192,000 and nobody noticed until it stopped. That Kevin humiliated me for 32 years and you never told him to stop. She didn't interrupt. But mostly I'm tired of holding everything together while everyone treats me like furniture. Tears ran down her face. You're not furniture, Marcus. Then why do you all treat me like I am? She didn't have an answer. She stood up. I'm going to do better. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to try. Okay. I love you, Marcus. Then she left. First real conversation in years. First time she'd actually listened. I didn't know what to do with it. Day 14. End of the beginning. 2 weeks since Sunday dinner. Since Lick It Clean. Dad had 11.4% mortgage. Kevin had no car and no phone. Heather had $4,000 debt in her name alone. Mom was reevaluating everything she thought she knew. And me? Lighter than I'd been in 5 years. Maybe ever. The guilt would come later, late at night, thinking about Dad's 11.4%, about Kevin taking the bus in the rain. But right now, free. Not happy, not satisfied, not vindicated, just free. And that was enough. For now, Tuesday morning. Coffee in hand. Facebook open. I almost scrolled past it. Mom had posted a photo. Family dinner. Empty chair where I usually sat. Caption. Missing our Marcus. Family isn't the same without you. Praying he comes back to us soon. Family first. 47 comments. So sad. Praying for you. Family drama is the worst. Stay strong, Linda. He'll come around. Sons always do. Not one comment asked why I left. Not one mentioned the spilled soda. The 32 years. The $192,000. Just, poor Linda. Poor family. Missing their Marcus. The narrative had shifted. I wasn't the victim anymore. I was the problem. This was what they did. What they'd always done. Rewrite history. Make themselves the injured party. Dad telling church people I'd insisted on paying. Mom posting sad photos for sympathy. The truth didn't matter. The story they told was all that existed. I closed Facebook, went to work, tried not to think about 47 people who believed I was the villain. Week 3. First therapy session. I'd been putting it off for years. But sitting in Dr. Chen's office, I realized I wasn't fine. Hadn't been for decades. "Tell me about your family," she said. I talked for 45 minutes. The pranks, the money, the black hole of gratitude. "And now you've cut them off financially," she said. "Yes? How do you feel about that?" "Good, mostly," I paused. "Sometimes guilty." "About what specifically?" "My dad. He refinanced at 11%. That's going to crush him." "Is that your fault?" "I stopped paying." "You stopped paying his mortgage, on his house, because he couldn't afford it." I stared at her. "You've been framing this as something you did to them. But what if you just stopped doing something for them? Something that was never your responsibility?" I hadn't thought about it that way. "The guilt might not be about what you did," she continued. "It might be about the role you were assigned. The caretaker. The responsible one." That's accurate. When you stopped playing that role, you felt guilty. Not because you did something wrong, but because you stopped doing what they expected. First session. More clarity than 32 years alone. I booked the next appointment before I left. Week 4. Kevin called. Different tone. Quieter. I started seeing someone. A girlfriend? A therapist. I almost dropped the phone. First session was yesterday. She asked about my childhood, how I treated you, why I thought it was okay. "What did you say?" "That I didn't know. It was just what we did. Dad did it to his brother. Grandpa did it to Dad. Just normal." "It wasn't normal, Kevin." "I know. I'm starting to get that." Silence. "I'm not asking forgiveness," he said. "Just telling you because you should know. What I said at dinner, it was wrong, really wrong." "Okay." He hung up. Kevin in therapy. Kevin admitting he was wrong. Maybe people could change. Maybe. Week 5. The false victory. I got a raise. 12% bump plus bonus. Recognition for exceptional performance. $8,000 more per year. Plus $3,500 bonus. Combined with the $30,400 I was no longer sending to family, my effective income had increased by almost $50,000. For the first time in my adult life, financially comfortable. Bought myself a new mattress. The old one was 15 years old, sagging like a depressed hammock. Booked a trip to Costa Rica. Solo vacation. Never done that before. Put money into retirement for the first time since Dad's mortgage started. This was what victory felt like, right? Except at night, I still thought about that Facebook post. 47 comments. Not one asking why I left. Week 6. The setback. Ran into Aunt Carol at the grocery store, Mom's sister. "Marcus," she looked uncomfortable. "I've heard things." "I'm sure you have. Your mother is devastated. Your father barely holding on. Kevin lost his car." "I know. Don't you feel responsibility for that?" I looked at her. "I feel responsibility for my decisions, not for theirs." "But you caused—" "No. I stopped preventing the consequences of their decisions. There's a difference." She shook her head. "You've become hard, Marcus. How would you know who I am? When's the last time you asked about my life?" She didn't have an answer. "You've known me 32 years. Can you tell me what I do for a living?" Silence. "I'm a senior software developer, $94,000 a year, 8 years. But you don't know that because nobody ever asked." Her face shifted. Confusion, then shame. "I gave them $192,000. Nobody said thank you. Kevin told me to lick it clean and everyone laughed. And now I'm the villain because I stopped paying? I didn't know about the money. Nobody did, because nobody asked." I left her standing there. This was going to keep happening. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all hearing Mom's version. I didn't owe them explanations. They could believe whatever they wanted. Week 7, Kevin texted. Mom started a family chat to plan Thanksgiving. Want me to add you? No. Okay, I told them you probably wouldn't want to be included. What did they say? Mom cried. Dad said you'd come around. Heather said you were being dramatic. And you? I said you had every right to take space and we should respect that. Kevin. Standing up for me. For the first time in 32 years. Thanks. Don't thank me. I'm just trying to be less of an asshole. How's that going? Work in progress. Therapist says I have significant behavioral patterns to unlearn. I almost smiled. It's worth something. Week 8. Thanksgiving. First one alone. Ever. Made myself breakfast. Watched the Macy's parade like I used to as a kid. At noon, the group chat lit up. Mom. Turkey's almost ready. Wish Marcus was here. Dad. Maybe next year. Kevin. Maybe when we've earned it. Heather. Kevin. Stop making everything about you feeling guilty. Kevin. I'm not. I'm saying we screwed up and we don't get to pretend we didn't. Silence in the chat for an hour. I made myself steak, mashed potatoes from scratch. Called Dave around 3 p.m. He was also skipping family. Messy divorce. How you holding up? Better than expected. Not lonely? A little, but peaceful lonely. Not crowded and miserable lonely. There's a difference? Huge difference. At 6 p.m. Kevin texted, Mom set a place for you. It's been empty all afternoon. I'm not telling you to guilt you, just so you know. Even when she's wrong, she loves you. I know. Do you? Yeah. She just doesn't know how to show it in ways that don't hurt. First, Thanksgiving alone. Quiet, peaceful, a little sad, but mine. 2 months later. Christmas invitation. Text from Mom. Christmas dinner at Dad's. 4 p.m. You're always welcome. No pressure. Just know the door's open. I read it 12 times. Called Kevin. Did you write that for her? She asked for help. Wanted to make sure she wasn't being pushy. It was different. She's trying, Marcus. They all are. Messy and imperfect, but trying. Are you going to come? I don't know yet. Christmas Eve. I made my decision. Called Mom. Marcus? Surprised. Hopeful. Scared. Hi, Mom. Will you be coming tomorrow? No, not this year. Silence. Her breathing caught. Can I ask why? Because I'm not ready. 2 months isn't long enough to rebuild 32 years. I need to see the changes stick. I understand. Kevin's been different, really different. I noticed. Your father's making payments. Heather moved in with Jason, paying her own bills. Good. We're all trying, not for your money. We just want you back. I believe you're trying, but trust takes time. What about next year? Maybe. I hope so. That's hope. That's enough. Merry Christmas, Mom. Merry Christmas, Marcus. First time I'd ended a call with her, feeling something other than dread. Progress. Christmas Day. Alone again. Made pancakes. Opened presents I'd bought myself. Headphones, cookbook, weighted blanket. Watched snowfall outside. Phone buzzed. Kevin. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thinking of you, Marcus. Mom. Merry Christmas. We love you, Marcus. Dad. Merry Christmas, son. Heather. Merry Christmas, Marcus. I typed back, Merry Christmas. First message I'd sent that chat in 3 months. It felt okay, not great, not terrible, just okay. First peaceful Christmas since I could remember. Lonely? Yes. But the right kind of lonely. The kind that heals instead of hurts. 6 months after the dinner. Therapist asked about regrets. About what? All of it. The nuclear option. I thought about it. I regret it took 32 years. I regret every check without a thank you. I regret letting them treat me like a punching bag while I kept coming back. But not the decision? No, that was right. Even with consequences? Even with those. Where do things stand now? Complicated. Tell me more. Kevin and I grab coffee every few weeks. He's been in therapy 4 months. Different in ways I didn't think possible. That's positive. But I'm not ready to fully trust it. 4 months doesn't override 32 years. And your parents? Dad and I talk occasionally, short calls, surface level. The 11.4% is crushing him, but he's making payments. Never asks for money. Does he resent you? Probably. I hear it in what he doesn't say. Your mother? She tries hardest, calls every week, actually remembers my birthday now, first time in years. How does that feel? Mixed. I appreciate the effort. But she only started trying after I stopped paying. Maybe both feelings are real. Maybe. 8 months after the dinner. I went back. Easter. Low-stakes holiday. Drove to Dad's house. 40 minutes of rehearsing what I'd say if things went wrong. Knocked. Mom opened it. Froze. Started crying. You came. I came. She hugged me. First real hug in years. I walked in. Dad in his chair. Looking older. The 11.4% visible in the gray around his temples. Heather on the couch. Thinner. Working 3 jobs now. Kevin in the corner. Same face, but something different behind the eyes. Marcus. Dad stood slowly. Held out his hand. I shook it. Good to see you, son. Good to see you, Dad. Awkward silence. Kevin. Anyone want to help set the table? Tension broke. Everyone moved. Nobody mentioned the money. Nobody asked when I'd start paying again. We just had dinner. Weird. Stilted. Pauses too long. But nobody humiliated me. Nobody made me the joke. Small victories. 1 year after the dinner. I've been going to family events 4 months. Easter. Mother's Day. Dad's birthday. Each one less awkward. Kevin and I were building something. Coffee every week now. I've been thinking about the prom thing, he said one week. Which part? The part where Dad told me to do it. I stared at him. What? I didn't want to tell your date you had a skin condition. That was Dad's idea. He said it would toughen you up. Dad told you to do that? He told me to do a lot of things. The pool thing. The hotel in Vegas. He'd suggest it. I'd do it. Everyone laughed. I thought we were bonding. All those years. All that humiliation. Dad was behind it. Why are you telling me now? Therapist said I was protecting him by keeping the secret. I'm done protecting people who don't deserve it. Does he know you told me? No. That's between you and him. I drove home with a new piece of the puzzle. 32 years of thinking Kevin was the problem. Turns out he was just the weapon. Dad was pulling the trigger. I didn't confront Dad. Maybe never will. Some things you file away. Some truths don't need to become conflicts. But I understood my family differently now. The dynamics, the hierarchies, the way damage passes down. 18 months after the dinner, Kevin got married, small ceremony, backyard, 40 people. He asked me to come. I said yes. Watching him say vows to a woman who'd stuck with him through everything, lost car, therapy, the slow process of becoming better, I felt something unexpected. Happiness. For him. 18 months of work. 18 months of being different than the guy who told me to lick it clean. After the ceremony, he found me. Thanks for coming. Congratulations, he looked at me. I can't undo 32 years, but that person doesn't exist anymore. I destroyed him. That's dramatic. It's accurate. Old Kevin would never have gone to therapy, never admitted he was wrong. He paused. Thanks for showing us what we'd become. I wasn't trying to help you, just protecting myself. I know, but it helped anyway. We stood there. So what now? You keep being different. I keep watching. Maybe eventually we're actually brothers. I'd like that. Me too. Progress. 2 years after the dinner. My relationship with family is functional. Not warm, not close, but functional. Dinner, occasionally. Major events. Kevin and I text memes now. What brothers do. Nobody asks for money anymore. First time since Dad's early retirement, I wasn't anyone's ATM, anyone's backup plan, anyone's punching bag, just their son, their brother. Still figuring out what that means. Dad never fully forgave me. I see it when he thinks I'm not looking. The 11.4% will follow him to his grave. We're civil, not close. Maybe never will be. Mom tries hardest. Calls every Sunday. Remembers my birthday, my work anniversary. It's working. Slowly. Heather and I are cordial. Not friends. The credit card left scars. Progress. Kevin is the surprise. Actually became better. Used the crisis as wake-up call instead of grudge. He's the brother I always wanted. Took 34 years to find him. Last week, coworker asked about my family. Are you close with them? I thought about it. Dad staring at mortgage statements he'll pay until he pass away. Mom sending cards every month. Heather budgeting for the first time. Kevin becoming someone worth knowing. Empty chair at Thanksgiving that first year. Full chair the next. We're figuring it out, I said. Some things you can rebuild. Some things stay broken. We're learning which is which. She nodded like she understood. She didn't. Not really. But I did. And that was enough. Sometimes people ask if I regret how I handled things. Nuclear option. No warning. Maximum chaos. I think about it. Maybe I should have talked first. Maybe given them a chance. Maybe been gentler. Then I remember. 32 years of, it's just a joke. $192,000 with no thank you. Better lick it clean. I made the right choice. Not the nice choice. Not the kind choice. But the right one. Because here's what I learned. Family isn't about blood. It's about respect. If they can't give you respect, you don't owe them anything. Not money, not time, not forgiveness, just the freedom to walk away. I took that freedom. And I've never looked back. Well, maybe once or twice, but I never went back. And that made all the difference. Yesterday, Kevin texted me a meme about brothers. I sent one back. 20 minutes of dumb pictures. Then he sent, "This is nice." Yeah, it is. 2 years ago, you wouldn't have responded. 2 years ago, you wouldn't have sent it. Fair. We're doing okay, Kevin. We are, finally. I put down my phone, looked around my apartment. Furniture I bought with money I used to send to Dad. Vacation photos from trips I used to never take. 2 years ago, I'd been a wallet with legs. Now I was just Marcus, brother, son, software developer, guy who goes to therapy and the gym and actually uses vacation days. Guy who set a boundary and survived. Turns out, they figure it out. Or they don't. Either way, it stops being your problem. That's the thing about family. They'll take whatever you give them. So be careful what you give. And when you finally stop, make sure it's for good.